What's going on, people? Welcome to Live Palace News. We'll be discussing all the latest Palace bits and bobs that's been popping out today and as of the weekend. As always, if you do enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And also let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. On the agenda today, Olise, rather than him wanting to go, there's reports suggesting that he wants to stay at Palace. So we're talking about that. Talking about Eze for England. Roy Hodgson has made his thoughts shared on it after the Southampton game. And finally, a former Palace fullback, once again, Wan-Bissaka. Is he on the line to return back to Palace this summer? So we'll be talking about that and more with my man, T. How you doing, man?
Big dog, what's up, man? Doing good, man.
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm a bit relaxed. Another win. It goes a long way, man. It goes a long way. Just relax going into the week.
Mondays feel a lot better after a dub.
Exactly, and some of these news stories as well. It makes it feel better as well. I mean, let's talk about the likes of Olise. So the report that's come out, I believe it was today or it might have been yesterday, is that Michael Olise wants to remain at Palace, and it's based on the reports that we said last week about Olise being linked with a move to Arsenal. And he's not interested in a summer move to the Emirates Stadium, according to recent reports. What do you make of that, T? Because normally you hear the other way around. You hear players wanting to move away, but Olise not wanting to move away? Would that be the right move for him, even in the short term?
I think so. I don't think it hurts him at all. I mean, the thing about it is he's probably really enjoying his football at the moment. He's finally gotten to a position with us as a club this year where he is the number one right wing option. I mean, prior to this season, he was, sharing time with Jordan Ayew a pretty considerable amount. You know what I mean? He wasn't the embedded starter. And I feel like now he's kind of gotten to that point. He's enjoying his football. He's playing really well. He probably really enjoys the team too. You know what I'm saying? It seems like him and Ebbs are really close. So, I mean, maybe I don't think it's any reason for him to be in a hurry to leave at this point. So and it doesn't surprise me also because of Michael Olise's character. Like that, it kind of just seems like it fits with the type of character he is. He's seems like a very simple, quiet guy, and he probably just likes it at Palace. So.
Yeah, and I also feel like you mentioned a very good point. I think Eze, his connection with the likes of Eze, we've seen it on Palace TV, for example, when they're joking around, they're playing games, they're enjoying their football together as well. But I think the most important thing about Olise is, funny enough, even if Wilf was to leave, I don't know if that changes. I don't know if that changes Olise's mind, but I don't think it does. I think we'll reach a new stage at our football club where we've got more than enough decent quality players that, we don't have to rely on the likes of, Wilf has to stay, otherwise everything's going down. Because even if Wilf leaves, you're looking at the other team players that we got. We still got a decent squad. We got Decore, we got Eze, we got Olise, we got Gehi, we got Anderson there. So I feel like with these younger players, I feel like they still have belief that they can still progress at Palace. Mm-hmm. And also, I mean, that big move will always be there for Olise if he continues to play like this. So there's no point of rushing the process. But how important do you think it is for us this summer to build on that? Because I feel like it also depends on what we do in the summer, because we have to show a bit of ambition to keep these quality players. Yes, they might want to stay at Palace, the likes of Olise, as we're mentioning now. But of course, if we get rid of the likes of Eze or Anderson or Gay, I don't replace them with adequate quality, then I feel like that scenario will just completely change. So it's also on us.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good point, and it kind of harkens back to your financial show that you just did, actually. And the topic came up of, is this summer a summer where we're looking to sell, to bring money in, or is it a summer where we're looking to buy? And let me first say, I thought that was a great show.
I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate it. Don't give me credit. Give it to Tim. Give it to Tim.
Yeah, I thought. Hey,
a lot of research.
I appreciate you for really putting it all together, coming up with the idea for it. I appreciate Tim taking the time to use his accounting expertise and putting things into layman's terms for us who don't know and don't understand. You know,
Exactly.
I
There's a
would
lot of
I would
things
look
there.
at because I would have looked at that stuff and been wondering and guessing a whole lot of stuff. But one thing that Tim said was this summer should be a summer where we're buying, not when we're selling. You know, not yet on the selling side. And you know, even before I had the chance to really hear the knowledge that Tim had to drop on us, I felt that same way. I didn't think it was really time to sell. I think a lot of people talk about, oh, well, Gay's going to leave and Olise is going to leave, and you know, they don't have to leave. I don't think we're in a position where they have to leave. I think we are in a position where we can still build. You know, like we're not. I don't think we're financially strapped to where we have to sell in order to buy. I don't think that'll be the situation for us, especially if we're doing good recruitment and scouting. We won't be spending a ton of money on getting good talent in, hopefully. But yeah, I think it's a time when you have to build. We have a really, really good core of young, talented, and now even more experienced players. And I think it would be more of a step back for us to blow some things up and then try to bring other pieces in and hope it works. I think we just need to build on what we have. I mean, and like you said, the Wilf piece with players, you know, want to stick around, even with the impending loss of Wilf. I think the reason for that is because they see how good this team can be even in his absence. You know what I mean? I mean, because like we talked about years ago, there was no winning without Wilf in the side. You know, if Wilf was hurt, if Wilf was out,
We are
the best
finished. We were
we're finished.
finished. Yeah.
We're finished because everything that we did goal scoring wise was going through him. But that's not the
Literally,
case
Zaha
anymore, man.
FC.
That's not the
Literally.
case anymore. The last three matches, you know, we scored a total of what? I think it's like 10 goals, 9 goals, something crazy, 11, something like that. Like I can't remember. But like the fact
Too
that we're
many.
playing, yeah, the fact I think it's not I don't know, but whatever. But
A
the
lot of
fact that
goals. Let's just say that exactly. A lot of goals.
the fact that we're scoring goals in his absence, the fact that we're winning matches in his absence shows that we have a core and a foundation of players that can go in, win matches at the Premier League level in the absence of a talent like Wilf. So I think not only the players, but maybe the franchise and the club itself are able to actualize the views of possibly moving forward without Wilf, if that be the case.
Yeah, look, I think we've got a decent squad, but we just have to build on it. On the video, if you guys haven't already seen it, make sure to go check it out. We talk about the owners individually, and we talk about the general financial state of Palace and what Tim said in the video, and what we saw in the video was that big thing about John Textor, the £30 million. It seems like it has happened. It seems like £30 million was put into the club, and if it's a case of if we have that £30 million available, and on top of that, you're going to also have funds carried on from this season, then, you know, I don't think it'll be the same as the summer that when Vieira first joined, but I don't think it'll be as quiet as the summer that's gone by. And we don't need to spend 100, 150 million pounds. We have to make some smart moves and you know, solidify certain positions. But even if you have the likes of 50 million pounds or 60 million pounds to spend, it's still decent money to bring in, you know, 2 or 3 quality players. And that's what we have to do. We have to build on it. But do you agree with Isaac here? There's a comment saying if Elisa wants to stay, it also gives a big statement to players that we're looking to sign in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, staying power. Staying power is a real thing. You know what I'm saying? The fact that it's going to be attractive for other players looking at the club, looking at the construction of the team, and then eventually looking at the manager, whoever decides whoever we decide to bring in. When you're considering those things and considering making a move to a place like Crystal Palace, those are some of the things that are going to weigh on your mind about why you want to join, why you want to be there, if you want to go. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody that's technically 60, 70, $80 million possible talent in Michael Olise, who could possibly pretty easily get a move away as far as the interest is concerned. But he comes out and says, no, I like it here. I like it where I am. This is where I want to be. You know, I think that goes a long way.
Yeah, 100%. We're going to move on to the next bit of topic. But before that, let's go through some more comments. If you're enjoying the show, make sure to hit the like button. Let's get the likes up, people. Takes a second of your time and helps us grow the channel as well. Rojat says, I feel like when Zaha plays, we try to get the ball to him only and not onto our other attacking threats. Potentially. Potentially, I feel like that's gone down a bit now that we got the
It's
likes of
it's yeah,
Elise.
it's way less than it used to
Yeah,
be.
yeah. Michael says first time in years we look like we'll be fine without Zaha's Elise and Eze are here now. Yeah, just Elise and Eze, but also in midfield as well. I think the core is the heart of that midfield. And I think he's had a very good season, and it's reached a point that we don't really speak about Decore after games because, of course, Eze and Elise are scoring goals, but Decore is holding it down in midfield.
He's
I feel like we've got a
consistent.
good core. But
Yeah.
but there's areas that we still need to strengthen. The right back position,
absolutely.
like I think even Steve Harris said it somewhere. I think it's talking to TV over in America. You must know about this. Patrick posted it. He was over in America talking to was it Peacock TV about transfers. I couldn't catch it, but I think he said it there as well about the right back situation. Look, we need a new right back, maybe a new striker. Like we need some urgent positions desperately, but we got a good core. But we just have to make sure we build on the right this summer. Luke says Eze is the main man next season. For me, he earns player of the season if he keeps us up. Do you think he's earns player of the season if we stay up? For me, I think there's been two other players off the top of my head that's been better than him. I think Gay has had a very good season and Decore. I don't know if Eze should get player of the season. Am I being too harsh?
I mean, he has 10 goal and assist, like 10 goal contributions this season, which is, I think, the tie for highest on the team. He's coming back. He's still coming. He came back from a devastating Achilles injury. I love the storyline of it. And I think if he continues in the upward trajectory that he's showing, I think he could be up there for winning it, if I'm being quite honest.
You reckon?
I mean, I would. And the thing
if we're talking
about
of the season, are we talking about 7 games? Of course, he's having a brilliant. If he continues up, or 10 games, whenever Roger, I can't remember top of my head. Was it 10, 9?
10.
Yeah, I think it's 8. 8. No, it must have been 8. Is it 8? Yeah, I think it's been 8 games. If Roy's going to be here for 8 games now, was it 10?
It's
8?
7 more. There's 7 more left. We played 3.
I can't remember Leicester game, what game week that was. I think that was 30 or 31. But look, if you're counting, let's say 10 for the sake, anyways. I think 10 is the utmost games. I can't remember top of my head how many games it's going to be. 10 games. I mean, if you do brilliant in 10 games, does that warrant you player of the season?
But before those 10 games, he still had 4 goals and 4 assists too.
Yeah, but he was gone quiet though. I know Vieira didn't play him, but he went quiet even when Vieira did.
Conor Gallagher was our player of the year, and he had a horrible second half of the season.
Not horrible second half of the season. I don't think so. He had a horrible end to the season. I would have said second half. I would have said horrible second half to the season.
His second half of the season was literally hardly anything, bro.
So who was well in that second half of the season? That's my point. Who was doing well in the second half of the season when Gallagher was doing bad?
But what I'm saying is Gallagher won player of the season off of his first half of the season, is what I'm saying.
Okay, so what about Decore? Hasn't Decore been more consistent enough throughout the times, and he's also playing well right now? The only difference with Decore is, of course, we're not going to talk about him because he's not doing goals.
I think this argument is the fact that it's a defensive midfielder who they don't get the accolades. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have like when you think about things like goal contributions and things like that, central defensive midfielders don't win Ballon d'Ors. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but they deserve the respects. I mean, we know what Decore is on this season.
He gets respect, but I don't think you give him player of the year. No, I don't think you give him player of the year.
What, just telling me player of the season can't get player of the year? I mean, not player of the season can't get player of the year. I mean, defensive midfielders can't get player of the year. Come on, they can. Okay, it's game.
I think if he was doing more on the assisting side, on the goal scoring side, then he might have a better chance of it. I think Gahey's definitely in the running for it. Don't get me wrong. I think these guys are probably the top 3 for the award.
I don't know, man. I just feel like it's too early. I love Ebbs the bit, but if you're comparing throughout the season, Gahey's still performing well. Decore's still performing well.
Ebbs is the leading goal scorer. Is tied for the leading goal scorer on our team, and he's second in assists.
But remember, if it wasn't for the likes of Gahey stepping up to the plate, right now, would we be where we are? Because our defense kept us in the run of games where we couldn't win games. Our defense kept us in it, and that's how we picked up points.
Very true. Very true.
And, so that's how you have to look at both sides.
And there's been games where Eze scored, like last game, where we don't win without him. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it goes both
Let us
ways.
know what you guys think. Let us, if you had to vote right now for player of the season, who you guys were voting for? Maybe it's not even the likes of Gahey, Eze, or Anderson, or
And not
maybe
to mention,
Vicente, as
like
Isaac
people
saying it. Let us know what you
people
guys think.
love a comeback story. People love a success story, and that storyline for Eze is almost poetic if he ends up doing enough to win it. Ends up doing enough to win it, like I said.
Yeah, and Mike is making a very good point. Olise has the fourth highest assist in the league this season as well.
Facts.
You know,
Facts.
he's there as well.
He's got
There
it
as
was
well.
an
He's all about
8.
goal
He's got 8
contributions.
now, I want to say.
Yeah, I think he's only like 2 behind Saka.
Yeah. So his
So
goal
you know,
contribution is
that's
tied
crazy.
with Ev's because he's got 2 goals, right? So I think he's got 8 assists and 2 goals, and Eze's got 6 and 4.
Yeah, yeah. Look, let's talk about the stories, and we'll go to player of the season. We kind of went off track a bit. We'll talk about. I mean, there's still lots of games to play, but let's move on to the next bit of story, and that is on Eze. Funny enough, and it's on what Roy Hodgson said. Roy Hodgson had basically after the Southampton game came out and backed him for an England call-up. So the question is, Eze for England, is it yet too soon, or do you think, based on his recent form, he should be called up to the next set of squads? What do you think about a T? Roy Hodgson backs him.
I'd love for me to call up, but I don't know if Eze is going to be a part of that the Southgate Boys Club. You know what I'm saying? I think it might
He
be
was
too
selected.
early.
Remember, before he
I
got
know,
injured, he was
I
selected.
agree. I
Southgate.
just think right now the Southgate Boys Club is a little bit set right now. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if it happens. So I know one thing: Nigeria's going to be breathing down his freaking neck. Tell you that. But
Yeah, of course.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, just to think that guys like Mark Gahey are kind of like not getting the amount of time that you would expect from them. Like, I feel like he really like has been a very undeniable selection, and he's barely got in. I mean, you got guys like Tamori, who's not even.
In this, yeah,
He's one of the best defenders in Serie A. He's not making the national team.
Well, do you think England need a player like Eze? I think England's got so many quality players. That's the thing. But then again, if you talk about creativity at times, it can be lacking. You've seen what Eze is doing on the ball, especially when you have a comfortable Eze. He could do well for England. He could do well for England. And
he very well
has
could.
selected him before. But then again, for me, the biggest question is it too early? Like, I don't want to get carried away. I think he's had a very good 3 games. And it's going to be an important run to the end of the season. Let's see what he does. He's high on confidence right now. You saw it with the second goal. I mean, this guy, he's on cloud 9. Like, he's playing his own game at his own speed. But for me, I'll be honest, as much as I love Ebbs, I think you have to also be realistic. 3 games, yes, he's been very good for us, but he has. I think we can talk about it after the next maybe 3 to 4 games. He has to have.
I wouldn't say yet. I think
a good run of form.
Yeah, good run of form. A good end to the season. A good end to the season probably might give him that opportunity. If he finishes the season strong, maybe looking at a summer call up possibly.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, so for me with Eze, it's a case of can he be consistently this good? If he's consistently this good, England call up is 100%. It will 100% happen. I have faith in it because Southgate has selected him before. But I also don't want to get carried away with the fact that it's only been 3 games. So we have to kind of be realistic about the situation. Yes, he's performing exceptionally well, and I feel like he'll slot into the England team. But then again, it is short-term form what we're seeing right now. And I don't think Southgate will select him based on these 3 games. But if he continues to perform like this to the end of the season, there's no reason for Southgate not to select him because he's been one of the, he'll be one of the better players in the league. He's getting goals and assists left, right, center. Not only that, if you watch him play, he has high confidence. But then again, 3 games, let's wait and see what happens.
But then you also got to take into account Southgate doesn't pick guys based on form. He proves it every single international break. So we'll have to see.
Yeah. But then again, Maddison, he didn't select Maddison for quite a bit, and Maddison was on form before.
Oh, yeah. People were calling for Maddison forever, but I mean, he picks Harry Kane every time. I mean, not Harry Kane. Harry Maguire every time.
Yeah,
Harry
Maguire does have his favorites. He does have his favorites. But let's move on to the last bit of story before we read out some of your questions. If you have any questions, send them through. We'll read them out towards the end of the show, which is not going to be that long. Let's move on to that story, and that is on Wan-Bissaka. There's reports once again suggesting that Crystal Palace are reportedly trying to seal the transfer of Manchester United right back Wan-Bissaka this summer. Look, we spoke about him before, and it seems like clearly we've been interested in him. And I feel like if we didn't have that run of form towards the end of December, right now I think Wan-Bissaka would be at Palace. I truly believe that. He had that, one or two good games. Then afterwards, Ten Hag started playing him. I think there was injuries at Manchester United.
That was an injury. Yep.
Yeah, but in all honesty, regardless of it's funny how I said, regardless of how good he plays, I don't feel like Ten Hag rates him. I feel like Ten Hag just feels like there are better right backs there that can offer more going forward. Because I think defensively, Wan-Bissaka is great, but for Man United, the expectations are high. Even if you're a solid right back, the manager will always try to look for the next better option. So for me, I think there is a chance of Wan-Bissaka returning. It's been going on, this saga, for God knows how long now. We've been talking about it for months, and it's not ending yet. And I won't be surprised if he somehow ends up at Palace in the summer. But for you, T, if we talk about right back options, there's been Sacha Boey that we've been linked with, and not that many other right backs. To be fair, Sergio Dest as well. Wan-Bissaka, would you want him back? Because some people just don't want to go back to former plays. But do you think it would be the right move?
D, there's a song by the Migos called Prices. And they say, what's the price? Prices going up. It's like, yo, what is Wan-Bissaka gonna cost us? If we can get it to be a reasonable amount, or a loan with a buy obligation or option, I'm with it. I mean, I've watched Man United's past. Like, I really chimed in and watched them the last few times, especially in their European matches. And I really, really paid attention to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Like, I really zoomed in on him and watching him, and he looks so much better on the ball. He looks so much better passing the ball. And even though, let me not say, it might not be to the level that Ten Hag wants him to be, or he's not the prolific attacking fullback that he may want him to be. And actually, he plays a lot inverted, where he's coming into the center a lot. But he looks good, man. And I love to have him back at Palace, to be quite honest with you. But once again, I think it's all about the price, man. And like Micah said, man, RIP Takeoff.
Yeah. What's the right price then? What do you think is the right price for Wan-Bissaka at this current moment of time? How much do you think Palace should be looking to pay for him? And let us know as well, guys, in the chat section as well.
Probably right around that $20 million mark. That 20 million pounds.
Do you think they'll cut their losses that much? From 50 million to 20? Like, I
think only because of how much time he had left. Because he only got like a year. He'll only have a year left on his contract, won't he?
I don't know. That's a very good question. I can try to find out right now. But
if he's got the 1 year left, then yeah, probably around that between 20 and 25.
Yeah, but I think 20-25 is a fair price.
I like hover around that 20 mark. I don't think we're gonna see anything south of 20.
Yeah, I've said it before. I feel like Wan-Bissaka gets a lot of disrespect. Even before he had this good run of form, there's people forgetting that he was one of the best right backs. You can make the argument maybe even right now if you get him back. Right. He was one of the best right backs in the league. There's a reason why he went for about £50 million to Man United. There was genuine quality there. The only thing that needed to be improved is how he does with his attack. And I feel like there's been gradual improvements there. I would happily take him back at Palace. I really would. And it's not really any debate for me. The question is, though, I saw it in the chat as well. If you had to pick between Sacha Boey and Wan-Bissaka, who would you go for, regardless of the price tag? Because you got one player that we know what he can offer in the Premier League, and we got one player that we don't know if he could potentially step up to the Premier League, and we don't know his game. So if you had to pick one of those players out of the two, who would you go for? Because Luke has said that he thinks that Palace should go for Sacha Boey.
Just because of the amount of question marks, I'm going with Wan-Bissaka. I think I have more assurances with that choice. Like you said, if the variable of cost isn't a factor, I'd probably go for Wan-Bissaka, because I know for a fact we're covered defensively. I know for a fact he knows what Premier League football looks like.
Bro, just get me Wan-Bissaka with Olise down the right hand side. I'm telling you, we
I'm
are
taking that.
cooking.
I'm taking that. I'm taking that. I'm taking that.
I've said it, I'm gonna die on this hill. I really want to see a new right back, and I want to see what Elise's numbers turn into. I want to see how Olise plays, because I genuinely believe that once we have a better fullback down the right hand side, Elise's game just literally goes up another level.
Yeah.
You've got defenders that's worrying about the likes of, even if it's Wan-Bissaka, I know people are saying he's not much of an attacking threat, but I feel like his attacking game has improved over time. I feel like there's still room for improvement, but it's better than Joe Ward in the final client. Let's just say that. So if you have Wan-Bissaka running at you, and then you have Olise, and then you have maybe Eze through the middle as well, that's just chaos. Like right now, it's pretty much Olise down the right hand side. And look at the assists he's getting. He's still getting assists, but once he gets that support, whether it's Wan-Bissaka or Bowie, I just can't wait. I genuinely can't wait for it. Like that's the one thing that I'm really looking forward to.
And then talking
summer, like we just need to get new.
But Sean is talking about. Sean is saying Bowie for him. If money is a variable, now we're talking about. I'm going for Bowie if money's the variable, though. To be honest.
Yeah, because I guess with Bowie, you can probably, like, as we said at the start of the show, let's say we have 30 to 50 million pounds to spend, and we don't know. We're just assuming, based on John Text of how much money put into the club. If you spend the 25 mil of that to Wan-Bissaka, it kind of limits you with what else you can do. Maybe if Wilf leaves, that might open up a bit more financially. You know, we might be financially be able to negotiate and be a bit more flexible. But if Wilf stays and that's the amount of money that we have, it might be a bit too tight. So yeah, it's a fair point. I guess money does matter. But saying that, people are saying Bowie, you know, Bowie's more attacking. I've seen a few Bowies as well. So
he definitely is. He definitely is.
Wan-Bissaka.
He definitely is.
Exactly. Isaac saying, guys, what's wrong with Wardy? He's class. Look, with all due respect, as much as I love Wardy, I think like when there's a time where you just have to move on. There's just a time you have to move on. Look,
because he's serviceable. He has glaring weaknesses at his position that in modern football, it's just not viable, man. It's just, it's all about value above replacement. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have a lot of value comparably to somebody that you could bring in to replace him. That's all.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I feel like we'll notice how much of an improvement the right back situation can make on the whole team once we get a new right back. And I've been calling for a new right back for ages. The funny thing is, think about it now, our Wan-Bissaka replacement is going to be Wan-Bissaka. It pretty much sums up Palace. That'll be it.
Very Palace of us.
Wan-Bissaka, exactly.
Yeah.
We're just literally taking a step back.
Our Wilfried Zaha replacement was Wilfried Zaha.
Wilfried Zaha, exactly. It just sums us up, literally. Like, we just can't let go of certain players. There was a comment here. It's from Roja. And it says, "As Saints are pretty much done. Would anyone want to go from? Would you want anyone from there realistically?"
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I haven't seen it. So yeah, I think there was a report out today making us linked with Kyle Walker-Peters, the fullback at Southampton.
Twitter talk.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I think it might just be Twitter talk. But Kyle Walker-Peters or anyone else at Southampton, I'll take Ward-Prowse any day of the week. I'll say that. Like, I think forget about it. I really do rate him.
He said it, Patrick. He said it.
Yeah, Ward-Prowse. If I had to pick one player from Southampton,
I'll take a few of those young guys off that team. I'd take Bella Kochap. I'd take the one I know will. I know the one that will never get Romeo Lavia. Jeez, I take him.
Oh yeah, I feel like that's gonna be money.
I'll take Livermento. I'll take Livermento. I'll take up that little backup striker they got, Sekou Mara. They got a few guys. Sam Mendoza. They got some.
Well, if you had to pick one, then, because I don't think we want to turn into Southampton either.
If I had to pick one,
you're taking anyone from Southampton.
No, pick one regardless of price.
Yeah,
Romeo Lavia, flat out, easy.
Yeah, easy. Imagine him next to Decore.
Sheesh. The filth with Eze in front of him. The filth.
That would be broken. That would be broken. I just wish, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Kyle Walker-Peters is a realistic choice. About
he's realistic, and that'd be a good one. That'd be a good one too.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good one.
Well, he showed himself against us on the weekend. What was you sold on that, or was it just
I thought he played pretty well. I think Ainsley Maitland-Niles was the one that was getting abused.
To be fair, he's not even a fullback, mate.
Exactly.
He's just a footballer.
Exactly. I thought
how
Kyle
describe
Walker
him. He plays everywhere.
Even though Ez has put Kyle Walker Peters on his backside before, we're not gonna forget about that one. But
it's not numbers game. 100% understand that, but the numbers for Walker Peters, it doesn't look good though, team man. It just doesn't. Maybe it's just Southampton's form this season and it's reflected on him. But defensively, he's very good with blocks.
I mean, you could have said the same thing, but you could have said the same thing about Joachim Anderson before we got him when he was with Fulham when they got relegated.
Well, I mean, his distribution was good. I can't remember his numbers defensively. I don't know. Maybe was he bad defensively?
All those Fulham fans were saying he sucked defensively.
I can't remember. Honestly.
Was that he was slow and was always out of position? I remember seeing that stuff because I didn't really pay much attention to him and didn't know a whole lot about him. And seeing some stuff from Fulham fans, they were saying he was slow, always out of position, terrible defensively. All he could do was pass. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you said, maybe it's more of a reflection of the environment and the team that you're in comparatively to your actual abilities as a player. I mean, this is why you try to pick these players off of these relegation teams. It's like, who can we see from this squad, even though they're doing terrible and they got relegated, who can we see out of this squad that we could pick off that could be a quality player for a better team?
Yeah. Look, Walker Peters is very good going forward. He's, in terms of numbers, he's in the top 90 percentile for like successful take-ons, for progressive carries, and that's in fullback in the big 5 leagues, Champions League, Europa League, in the last 365 days. So he's doing brilliantly there. But yeah, I don't think he'll be a bad option. And plus, he can. I think he's versatile as well. He can play like left back, right.
He can play left back too.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's right-footed. So I'll probably take him as a right back. And I mean, if you have him and Olise running down the line, then good luck. Literally, good luck trying to defend that. But yeah, it's just the question marks for me is his defensive attributes, because you also don't want to go all out crazy and just get a fullback that can literally attack and not defend. Like, you want to find a balance, because if that was the case, then Max Aarons is a very good option. Do you get it? But he's not that good defensively, so that's why he's been at Norwich all this time. Otherwise, he would be at Norwich. So you have to try to find a balance between attack versus defense with fullbacks. Look, let's answer this question, because Roger asked it at the start of the show, and I said I will answer it. Thoughts on Arne Slot? Heard that we're ahead of Tottenham for him. Yeah, so that's come out today. That we're ahead of Tottenham, but then again, the report kind of suggested that we're not as well when you look elsewhere. So it's not quite clear. We spoke about him the other day. I mean, Tottenham. It's funny how we could potentially be ahead of Tottenham, considering how big they built a new stadium. They got F1 track under the ground and all of that. What do you think about this Arne Slot rumors? It seems like it's not going away.
I mean, I don't think it's going away because he's a legit option for us. I think the reason why we're probably ahead of a team like Tottenham is because Tottenham's probably not going to bring in a coach, like a considerably known-name coach. I don't think. I think they're probably going to try to bring in somebody with more of a resume than him. I mean, especially looking at who they brought in the past. I mean, they tend to bring in name guys. You know what I mean? So maybe that puts us in a better position. I'd like to see Slot, because his philosophy, his tactics are actually very similar to what we're trying to do already, or we have the players in the positions to do what he wants to do, because he plays a very aggressive 4-3-3. So I don't know. You have to see. I mean, it's more direct, but it's much more direct than it's much more direct. It's not so predicated on just possessing the ball more than the other team.
I mean, we'll speak about him as more comes out. But as you said, Roger, there was a report today suggesting that we are ahead of Tottenham. But yeah, long story short, it seems like we're after him. We've contacted his representatives as well, and we'll see literally just what happens with that situation. Sisri, I think, is a bit behind on the stream. He says Sasha Bowie in terms of Wan-Bissaka or him. Ash says Maka to get one more year and a testimonial. Yeah, Maka, I feel like this is it for Maka. We're going to wrap it up, but I feel like this is it now.
I don't know, man. I mean, I guess it really depends on what we do in the summer with bringing in midfield reinforcements, because you would think certain guys are going to leave. And, like, I would be surprised to see Luka stay. I would be surprised to see Jairo Riedewald stay. So if we're going to shift guys out in that midfield, I guess it all depends on who we bring back in. I mean, I wouldn't be against keeping Maka around for another year. If it's with, continuing to mentor and bring along the younger guys, to possibly helping him with transitioning into coaching. I think he deserves the testimonial. I mean, he's been a great servant for us. I wouldn't mind that at all. I mean, as long as we're not
100%
counting,
testimonial,
as long as we're
deserves
not
it.
counting on him to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as that's not the case.
Exactly. And Monty makes a good point as well. All the clubs are going to overprice places called business, 100%. And it just comes down to it. I mean, this whole season, we brought in, one or two good players. Richards, I guess Johnson, you can see as well. But I mean, we are going to have to overpay at times as well, maybe. And that's especially with some of these, younger players that's got, good potential. And we're not always going to find Olise for £8 million. Sometimes we might have to pay the 15 to 20 million pound and gamble like that. So it'll be interesting to see if it's this summer. And what do you think we do with Hamada? I said it when Roy first joined. I think it was after the Leicester game. I was thinking about it. I think it's a simple case of he's him. Lukonga did come on against Southampton, but him and Lukonga, those are going to be the sacrifices. There were always going to be sacrifices to when Roy came. We didn't know who, but it seemed like it's going to be him and Lukonga.
And it makes sense. Hamada makes sense. Next season. I'm not. It makes sense. It makes sense that he's getting sacrificed because he's going to take more time. He just is. He's going to take more time. He's getting used to. He just joined the team. He's getting used to the Premier League still. Roy's only got 10 games to get this right. And Hamada is going to take more time. So I get that sacrifice. I also get the Lukonga sacrifice because, he's going to take some time that Roy doesn't have right now. Lukonga isn't here long term. You know what I'm saying? So
gone, man. Lukonga,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I get that one too. Like both of those sacrifices.
He's linked with Burnley already.
Yeah, both of those sacrifices make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
But I think Hamada has a bigger part next year, though.
Yeah. But look, let's wrap this up. It's been an enjoyable show. We'll be back most likely tomorrow for Palace news as well. So if you haven't already done so, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below if you're watching a replay. Thank you to every single one of you who has watched this live. I just got caught off guard. Liverpool 2-0 to Leeds. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't looking to score. That's good. That's good for us. And interesting for Leeds. But yeah, if you have enjoyed this, like and subscribe. Thank you to T. Thank you to every single one of you that's been supporting the channel. Let's keep the channel growing. Let's keep it. It's been decent. It's been a decent week. If you haven't already done so, make sure to check out the financial video where me and Tim go through the latest finances and explain what's going on with Palace. Is the club in a healthy position? What's the owners doing? And more. So make sure to check that out. But until next time, up the Palace.
Up the Palace.